comment, and we'll open it up for questions.
Well, number one, just thrilled that our fans, even with the weather, showed up. Our students were awesome, and you know, our fans were great on a cold night. So we're super appreciative that they showed up. We got off to a great start, shot the ball well. Then after that, we just weren't very good offensively, and it was frustrating. It just didn't feel like we could pull away from them. You know, they did a good job. We didn't finish well. I thought defensively, I mean, we caused 17 turnovers, which is unusual for us. I generally pay attention to field goal percentage. They shot 48%, but the thing that helped us is we caused 17 turnovers, which you know, was probably a big factor in the game for us. You know, and it was a good offensive team. They're averaging 80 points a game in the league, and so you know, I have to be happy with our defense.
Coach, want to comment on Jordan Dykstra scoring?
Well, you know, I said it on the radio. You know, when you look at the number one, you look at the number of players that have played here, and the ones that have scored 1,000 points, it's a very small percentage, and he's done it. He's one of the few that's done it playing against the top competition that we've ever played against South Dakota State. So, you know, I think you could say that he's one of the best players to play here. And like I told the guys at the game, I'm way more pleased with the 14 rebounds than I am the 1,000-point mark.
Questions for Coach?
Scott, it seemed like Jordan was a lot more aggressive here than he was in Vermillion. Is that fair?
Yeah. You know, I mean, Jordan has those games where he can find himself standing around, but what I would call him tonight was active. And when he's active, he's a good rebounder. And you know, I've been after him all week. You know, we obviously looked at the film and tried to look at it just from when we played USD last time, just trying to look at it from an X's and O's standpoint, and not getting after our players about some of the things they did in it. But you know, it was pretty obvious that he didn't have a lot of energy in that game, and he was much more energetic and active tonight. When he's active, I mean, he's 6'8", he's quick. You know, he gets off the floor good, and yeah, I think he's had a great year rebounding the basketball for us.
Coach said you tied the school record for home wins. You've had a ton of success at home over the years, but just your thoughts on this number against this level of competition and you know, equaling that mark.
School record
for home wins in a row.
Oh, I mean, and I said this the other day. We never talk to our players about that streak. You know, and I know people mention it. You know, it's a combination. We have a good basketball team and we have great fans, and so it's a tough place to play. But it's a good atmosphere. I think that other teams play well here because it's a good atmosphere. I know when we go on the road and we're in good atmospheres, you get ratcheted up a little bit, and you know, so when UMKC comes in there Saturday night, it's going to be a good atmosphere, and they'll play well. But yeah, I think it's that combination of having really good fans, you know, and obviously winning helps. But we've always had a great base. You know, and when you won like we have over the past 2 years, it brings out other people, and it just makes it a good atmosphere. So it's the combination. Proud of the guys, but we really don't talk about it. I was thinking about it today. I mean, I don't even know why we keep track of streaks like that, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't affect your season any. It's just something to talk about, but it's nice to win that many games in a row. I'm not going to complain about it, but we never talk about it because it has no impact on the next game.
Talk about your post defense tonight. You know, Tony seemed to do a really nice job on Trevor Cruz. Only had 2 field goal attempts the whole night.
Yeah, Tony. You know, Tony's our best defender. You know, early when we played the first time, we had Tony out on the perimeter and Jordan inside. We switched that up this time. We wanted Tony on him. Really, what probably impacted his offense more was his foul trouble. And you know, we wanted to go inside. We tried to pound inside as much as we could and not shoot threes. Now they really packed it in, and early gave us a lot of threes, and we're just backing way off of Nate. And so, you know, I was glad he jumped up and shot those shots. But I thought we did a good job too. I mean, the game plan was to go inside, and don't just let Trevor hang out, because you know, if you watch his zone a lot of times, he just kind of hangs out and watches the ball, and nobody has their body on him. We tried to make sure we always had a body on him. Got him in some foul trouble, and just, you know, I look at Braden, how well Braden started the game. He gets 2 fouls, and it just kills him offensively, and I think the same thing happened to Trevor.
Down a guy tonight. What's the deal with Biddle?
He has a broken hand. He's probably out a month. We hope we'll get him back for tournament time.
That just happened earlier this week.
Yeah.
Thoughts on how that impacts the rotation?
Well, I mean, it impacts it. I mean, he's our best defender coming off the bench, particularly the guard spot, and Zach has not had many opportunities this year, and so it's an opportunity for him to play and give us minutes. I thought he gave us good minutes. I thought our bench gave us good minutes in terms of the minutes they gave us, the rebounds. I think we had 7 rebounds from those guys. It's the most important thing for those guys to come off the bench that they defend and rebound for us. But it does impact us.
Coach, how tough is it going to be to come bring them down from the high of these 2 rivalry games and play a Kansas City team that got beat by nearly 40 tonight in Fargo?
Well, we'll prepare the same way. I know that we could be impacted emotionally, but in terms of getting ready for North Dakota State or getting ready for USD or whether it be UMKC, we handle them all the same way in terms of how we talk about it. Now, we know that people off the floor don't, and certainly our players feel that and know, when people talk about it's a big game, to me every game's a big game. But when this game was over, when we went in, number one, like our team, I love our team because you walk in our locker room after the game, you can't tell if we won or lost. I mean, honestly, it's quiet in there, and so what we talked about, we just talked about some things we did right, and now it's time to put it down and get ready for UMKC, and that will be the challenge, that emotionally we get ourselves prepared to play.
Did it matter that you guys were playing USD tonight and they beat you last time? Did that enter in the equation at all?
I mean, I generally don't like if we go back and look at the game, we'll look at it from an X and O standpoint. We're not going. I mean, there's enough on the table. We're 7-2. We've done a good job of getting ourselves back in, and so there's enough motivation there. We don't need to go, oh, it's USD and they beat us and we're going to get them, and because all that does, to me, it can add more pressure to it. And so I always just try to focus on the X's and O's. I already know the kids are going to have plenty of energy in a game like this. Obviously, we're more concerned about the UMKC game, and so, we're not spending a lot of time, trying to pump them up, say they whipped us last time, we're going to get them this time. We just don't talk that way to our guys.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you, sir. Okay.